A very good morning, children. Are you all taking good care of yourselves? Are you washing your hands frequently, using a mask, and maintaining social distance? It is very important because the pandemic is still here. We need to be very careful and take good care of ourselves. And today we are going to begin in our social studies class a new theme, and that theme is India Unity in Diversity. And we are going to learn about so many different things related to India. And we are going to begin with different kinds of landforms. You have already learned about landforms, so we are going to learn these different physical features in detail in each chapter from now onwards. And the first chapter is about the Himalayan region. So in this chapter, that is chapter 12, we are going to learn about the northern mountains or the Himalayan region. So let us begin. The northern mountains include the Himalayas and the Karakoram ranges. So you have already been learning about Himalayas, and now we are going to learn in more detail about the Himalayan region. It consists of two parts. First is Himalayas and the other one is Karakoram ranges. It lies to the north of India that we have been learning, and the Himalayas contain the highest mountain ranges in the world. The word Himalaya means the abode of snow. They have the highest peaks of the world. They remain covered with snow throughout the year. The Himalayan range extends from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh over a distance of about 2500 kilometers. Its width varies between 150 and 400 kilometers. So it is not equally wide everywhere throughout its length. In some places it can be as less as 150 kilometers, while in other places it can be almost up to 400 kilometers wide. So now let us move to the main part, that is the Himalayan part, and later we will learn about the Karakoram ranges. The Himalayas can be divided into three parallel ranges. They are the Greater Himalayas, also known as Himadri, the Middle Himalayas or Himachal, and the southernmost Himalayas, which is called Shivalik Hills. So these three you need to learn: Greater Himalayas or Himadri, Middle Himalayas or Himachal, and southernmost Himalayas or Shivaliks. You have to learn this by heart. Okay. We begin with the Greater Himalayas, which is the uppermost and the highest range. It is also called Himadri, and Himadri means covered with snow. The major peaks in this range are Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, and Annapurna. Many brave people have risked their lives to climb the snow covered peaks of the Himalayas. Tenzing Norgay of Nepal and Edmund Hillary of New Zealand were the first men to climb Mount Everest in 1953. Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in the world with a height of 8,848 meters. The first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest was Bachendri Pal. So these are the region which have high mountain peaks, and many people have year after year tried to scale these difficult mountain peaks. So you can see Bachendri Pal here, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. From the peaks, glaciers slowly move downwards. And what are these glaciers? Glaciers are slow moving rivers of ice that grow larger and larger while moving downwards from the mountain tops. In the lower ranges, they begin to melt and become a source of major rivers like the Ganga, the Indus, and the Brahmaputra. The Gangotri is the glacier from where the Ganga originates. All these rivers rise from this range and then flow towards plains in three different directions. So you need to learn what are glaciers. Glaciers are slow moving rivers of ice. And what are the major rivers which originate from these Himalayan glaciers? There are three major rivers, the Ganga, the Indus, and the Brahmaputra. And the Ganga arises from the glacier whose name is Gangotri. Now we move to the middle Himalayas. The middle Himalayas run parallel to the greater Himalayas. They are in the middle and just below greater Himalayas. The range is also called Himachal. The mountains gradually become low towards the south. The height drops to 3500 meters. Famous hill stations like Shimla, Srinagar, Kangra, Kulu, and Darjeeling belong to these regions. These hill slopes and valleys receive heavy snowfall in winters. Summers in these places are very pleasant. People visit them during the summers. So these middle region is not very high. So they are not as cold as the high mountain peaks. So they are very pleasant in summer and people like to visit these hill stations to get relief from the hot summers of the plains. And some of the famous hill stations are Shimla, Srinagar, Kangla, Kuru, and Darjeeling. Many of you must have visited these one or two of these stations, hill stations, and during summer vacation, these places are almost crowded with people because so many people they love to go and enjoy in these hill stations during summer season. But they are very cold during winter. Now we move to the third and the last part of Himalayas, that is the southernmost Himalayas or Shivalik hills, which lie to the south of the Himachal ranges. They are the lowest part of Himalayan region, and these hills they get heavy rainfall, so there are thick forests in this range. These forests are home to many wild animals like tiger, cheetal, sambha, and also of crocodiles. The foothills of Shivaliks are called Terai. The Shivalik hills have an average height of 1500 meters above sea level. So these hills are not very high and they are full of thick forests where plenty of wild animals can be found. And hence, many of the wildlife sanctuaries and national parks can be found in this region. You can see the pictures of some of these animals found in the Shivalik area: cheetal, tiger, sambha. Purvanchal Himalayas. Now the Himalayas they extend even to the northeastern part of India, and this northeastern extension of the Himalayas is called Purvanchal Himalayas. It includes Naga, Garo, Khasi Jaintia, Mizo and Lushai hills. They are covered with jungles and these hills receive very heavy rainfall. They are also called Purvanchal and the word Purv comes from east. So this part of the Himalayas is called Purvanchal Himalayas. Karakoram Mountains. The Karakoram Mountains lie to the northwest of the Himalayas beyond river Indus. These are situated in the northern part of Kashmir. Mount Ketu or Mount Godwin Austen lies in the Karakoram range. It is 8,611 meters high. So now we have learnt about both the parts of the Himalayan region, the Himalayas and the Karakoram Mountains. And we should also know how Himalayas are important or useful to us. So the Himalayan mountains help us in many ways, and we have been learning throughout the lesson different ways in which these mountains they help us. So let us put them point wise. The first most important way Himalayas help us is it guards our northern borders, and so they play a great role in the defense of India. There are narrow gaps called passes in the mountains. Our army guards these passes. The Himalayas check the rain bearing monsoon winds and cause heavy rainfall in many parts of our country. They are dense forests up to the altitude of 1500 meters, that is in the Shivalik area. Many types of trees like fir, oak, pine, and deodar are found here. Forests provide us wood and other useful products too. Different types of animals are found in the Himalayan forests. They are yak, snow leopard, elephant, cheetah, tiger, rhinoceros, etc. Most of the famous hill stations of northern India like Srinagar, Kulu, Shimla, Nainital, Darjeeling and several other places are visited by thousands of people from India and abroad. The melting of snow during summer season keeps the northern rivers full of water. They are the sources of major rivers like Brahmaputra, Ganga and Indus. Dams have been built across many rivers to produce hydroelectricity and to irrigate agricultural lands. So these are some very important uses of Himalayas, how they are useful to us, how Himalayas are useful to us. The steep slopes, huge rocks and some of the world's highest peaks are sources of adventure and thrill to young people all over the world. Have you heard of river rafting or paragliding? So these are some important adventure sports which people enjoy when they visit this Himalayan region. So with this we come to the end of today's video tutorial. We will be learning about the various Himalayan states, the states that are found in these region in the next video tutorials. So till then, take good care of yourselves, keep safe and keep smiling.